Good evening. So, you guys enjoyed your week. I did a video a little while ago that was titled America's a Failed State. How COVID proves America's a failed state. And I got to thinking about some other reasons why. So, we know Trump pulled out of the WHO when he was in office. Disastrous move. Made no sense then, makes no sense now. You've had other things Trump did where he marked on a weather map, which is a crime, saying that a storm would go into Alabama when it clearly wouldn't. And that was education for me, because even once people knew that was the case, that like Trump had literally took something he knew was not a threat to them and altered it to make it like it's a threat to them, so he could be like, okay, I'm doing all this good stuff for my people when there was no threat. Nobody really cared. Like, nobody really caught that for what that was. That like what he did was equivalent to like some general or some commander, some major in World War II lying about an attack and saying that there's this big attack that happened, we all deserve awards, and there was no attack. There was no threat. There was never a threat. Like, you altered this to make yourself look good. That was an example of him abusing the system's authority. We know that now the FBI doing what they're doing in the prosecution of Trump and his cronies. Now Trump's talking about, they need to defund the FBI. They need to, do different things to make the FBI not work well. Guys, that is the definition of failed state. That's the definition of it. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not a virologist. Never said I was. But when a virologist tells you about COVID and says that they lied to protect the doctors and nurses, and 2 years later, you're still carrying forward the lie that they just done this to make Trump look bad, like, you are unreasonable. That you are unreasonable at that point. When you've got people who want to defund the FBI, or at least decapitate the FBI because it's hurting Trump, making him look bad, that's a failed state. If that's all the Republican Party is doing now, is saying that these government agencies that are saying things that are, they're just inconvenient to what we want to do, whether it be climate change, or whether it be prosecution Donald Trump and his cronies, or whether it be dealing with COVID, whatever. If you're just saying that the ultimate thing is no longer to argue, it is just to decapitate government agencies, we don't have a country anymore. I think it's important to remember that. Trump might try to defund the CDC when he gets back in office. And I was thinking about it before I did this video, but it's not even beyond the realm of possibility anymore. Because he wouldn't now, because there's no reason to. But what if there's another pandemic? What if something happens that we don't see coming? We're not dealing with people who are operating with a full deck of cards. We're dealing with people who are weaponizing government, who are weaponizing the agencies of government, the administrative bodies, law enforcement. They're weaponizing them for political purposes. And when they're unable to weaponize those groups, they want to just destroy those groups, or they want to just do something to make the groups not work properly. That's what Republicans do. They really don't want government to work properly. Now, that's what I've learned about them. You've got to understand that with Republican politics, that a key part of what they're doing is government's not supposed to work for the people. Like, you're not supposed to have like effective highway systems. You're not supposed to have effective systems that work for people. You're just not. So when things fail, they can say, "So we told you." I just I just think it's just, like I said, it's very clear to understand and see that if we don't have respect in law enforcement when they do these kind of prosecutions on someone who's got top secret documents that are SCI and they've got them next to the pool. When you've got this type of stuff, if they can't prosecute Trump, look, I'm a simple man. I'm a simple guy. If a man can't do a job, he hasn't got a job. Pure and simple. If I can't do my job, I better go find a job. Thanks for listening.